to the REVA Experience Podcast. Real women, real shifts, real conversations. I'm your host, Rosemary Evangelista, and this space is for women navigating big life changes, like retirement, job loss, or for those now what moments, to find clarity, purpose, and the courage to rise. Here we share real stories, soulful insights, and conversations that matter. And today, I'm so happy to welcome my guest, Mary Jane McQueen, a multifaceted creative who brings a beautiful blend of artistry, intention, and heart to everything she touches. With a rich background in graphic design, production, and even event planning, Mary Jane is passionate about helping people bring their visions to life, whether that's through powerful print or digital designs, or well-crafted events that leave a lasting impression. She's not just a designer, she's a collaborative partner, someone who locks arms with you to turn your ideas into something tangible and meaningful. And here's something I love. Mary Jane has also a truly blessed collaboration with fellow Serving Circle member Jan Jeremias. Together, they're building something really special, Spirit Born Imagings, where they share uplifting content and creative inspiration across Facebook, LinkedIn, and their YouTube channel. But we'll talk more about that during our conversation. But for now, I just want to say, Mary Jane, welcome to the REVA Experience Podcast.
Thank you so much. I feel really honored and blessed to be here, and I'm just really looking forward to our conversation.
I am too. And just to let the audience know, I love talking with Mary Jane because she's so bubbly. She just makes you laugh and smile. And that's what we need to do in life pretty much, right? We have to learn how to laugh, not at ourselves, but with ourselves and with others. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I love the colors.
Thank you. Yes, it's like I didn't realize I was quite so matchy when I was dressing today, but hey,
perfect.
It's all good. I am my brand, right?
There you go. So I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to start your business, your journey on this beautiful path that you're on?
Yeah, well, for me, it was kind of an unexpected journey. It was an unexpected journey. It wasn't kind of, it was. After 31 years in corporate marketing, I was restructured out of my job at the end of 2019. And then a couple of months later, well, we know what happened, worldwide pandemic. So it was quite the transition period for me. It allowed me some time to sort of grieve because it definitely was a big change in my life. It was totally unexpected. And yeah, at that time when that happened, I thought to myself, oh, now what?
Right.
Who am I now? I'm not sure. And then, of course, there was more turbulence as things sort of happened worldwide as well. So, but during that process of grieving and sort of working through the path of self-development and sort of expanding my knowledge and sort of learning to flip the script so that I wasn't seeing it as a loss, but I was starting to see it more as an opportunity to do something I loved and to serve people that I really wanted to serve. And so hence I started my creative studio so that, I could work with people. And I really love supporting my fellow entrepreneurs and getting their brand, mission, and vision out into the world. That's just something that makes me feel really happy when they kind of have their aha moment and realize, oh, this is me, when I helped them create their logos and their brand. So it's just it was a transition I was not expecting. But I realized that after 2.5 years of corporate bullying, where I figure, God, universe, source, whatever you want to refer to, was kind of tapping me on the shoulder going, hey, hello, hi. And since I wasn't listening too well, apparently, decided to, as I say, it has a beautiful sense of humor. It kind of goes, well, you're not listening. Out the door you go. So, hi, I'm here.
That, right? To really grab your attention if you're not listening.
Uh-huh. You would have thought 2.5 years would have kind of grabbed my attention, but you get comfortable in your discomfort is what I think
Right.
happens
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah. Um, and for me, it was more than 2.5 years. It really, when I think back now, it took me a few decades. So I wasn't, maybe, I don't know if I wasn't paying attention. I think for me, maybe I just had to go through some learning steps to grow and get out of my comfort zone, because even doing this podcast, this is big for me to get out of my comfort zone. But as I'm progressing with these and talking with amazing people like you, it's getting easier and easier. And I think that's a message that I'd like to share with the viewers too. First, like what you said, pay attention to the little signals that you're getting, because you're going to get a big one if you don't. And if you're not, and it's taking as long as I did, it's okay too, because that's a learning step that we have to go through. And just be patient with yourself.
Yeah, that's a really key point. I love that. Be patient with yourself because sometimes that's when I feel the frustration coming in for myself is just like, okay, things should be happening. Like I'm thinking, and then I think to myself, I'm like, well, who's saying that?
Right?
Is it really me? It's that voice in my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like shh, voice.
Yeah. Like I said before we started recording, is we'll go with the flow, because if you fight the current, you're not going to get anywhere, right? And
Absolutely.
so what I was doing, I was always that little voice, okay, I tried this. Oh, you failed. Oh, you failed. You can't do anything. But then once I shifted that mindset, okay, yes, I can do something. It may not be that what I was doing at the moment,
Hmm.
but it was a stepping stone for me to get where I am now. And I think that's key, because it does matter, because you came from corporate, and there's a lot of women out there that might be going through the same thing. You've been in
Yes.
corporate and in a company for years and years, and all of a sudden it's not there. And like you said, now what? What do you do? So that's why I'd like to share stories and experiences from other people, so that maybe there's just a little trigger of hope or information that's saying, yeah, I can find something and find me.
Absolutely.
So I know you're creative and you do some beautiful work. Who are you called to serve, and how do you help them with your graphic design and your creativity? But is there, outside of that, a way that you can help others?
Yeah, so for me, um, yeah, I mean, I sort of spoke to it a few minutes ago, but I really enjoy um locking arms with my fellow entrepreneurs that are perhaps in a state of overwhelm. And there's one thing that I learned over my years and years in corporate is brand and logo. How important those are key for your business. And I know sometimes it can be overwhelmed because there's so much noise happening of you need to do it this way, you need to do it this way, you need to do it this way. Like it's always bombardment. And so people, um, I find when I start working with them, often feel they have a beautiful mission and vision. They just don't know how to actually get that out there. And so I love locking arms with them and help them walk through the process and sort of, shut off that noise and say, okay, the foundation of what we're going to do is create your brand and logo because that's going to be everywhere, no matter what you do, whether you have a website, social media, print marketing, whatever it happens to be, it's going to be with you everywhere. And so that is the foundation on which the walls are built. I find that a lot of people are in the process of building walls, but they have nothing to base it on. And then they
Yeah.
wonder, I don't know what to do next. And like I said, the noise. But so there's that part of it. And also there's almost like a mentoring aspect to that as well, is help people walk through the process and realize what it is. Like, so that question I asked myself was like, who am I? because the who am I is who your brand is. And I know for you that was very key with you, with your brand of how that came together, because you need to be able to connect to it in an authentic way. And then, of course, for the other aspect of my business, which I find really funny because, as my friend likes to say, we don't have to be a one-trick pony, do you? Um, but it's funny because when I began my collaboration with Jan Jeremias, as you were mentioning earlier, um, I had a lot of people saying to me, "Aren't you a graphic designer?" Um, yes,
Yeah.
but I'm also, um, because for me, it's Spirit Born Imagings, our collaboration is a passion project for me, um, because I love it's sort of along the same lines of the mentoring, the importance of self-care and self-kindness and extending that empathy and compassion that you would extend to anybody else in most circumstances to bring it back home. And that's the thing. Sometimes we that voice in our head isn't as kind to us as things it says stuff to us sometimes that we would never say to somebody else.
Exactly.
So it's just interesting. So I really love the collaboration that we're doing with that I'm doing with Jan, because it's very it has a very fulfilling sense, in the sense that we often joke that we get as much out of the workshops and the sessions that we do, um we feel, as attendees do,
Yeah.
because it's growth for all of us, right? And it's just that sense of community and overall well-being, just knowing that we're not alone. That's the other thing. Being an
So true.
entrepreneur, sometimes you feel very
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah. And not even an entrepreneur, like somebody who's like going through empty nest.
Hmm.
Maybe they haven't worked and now it's an empty nest situation. He's still working. Now, what do you do? So allowing that creativity that you bring with your company. So that creativity actually goes hand in hand with uplifting other people, because the creativity I find, because I love being creative too. I love doing all that stuff. Um, like you said, it really empowers yourself,
Hmm.
gives you what's the word I'm looking for? The energy or the food to be able to help somebody. Because when you go through it, through the spirit born, what's it called again? Sorry.
It's Spirit Born Imaginings.
Imaginings. I might leave the bloopers. I don't know.
It's all good. That's our authentic selves, isn't it?
Exactly. I wanted to say the creativity that you put forth and presenting that heart mapping, because I joined you and Jan for that, and that was so amazing for me because I learned from that, and now I'm able to use that in my business to help others,
So
because it's an
beautiful.
amazing tool. Amazing tool. Yeah.
Yes.
That,
Yeah, well, that's I mean, that's always a key component to whatever I do, is to help reconnect people to their creativity, because that was one of the things when I first started with my own business, is I had a number of people come to me and say, "But I'm not creative at all." And as I picked my jaw up off the table, thinking, but you have a beautiful business with a mission and vision that's awesome. You created that from basically nothing, just a spark of an idea. So I was really shocked when people told, and I was like, oh, they're thinking artistic.
yeah,
Somehow they've equated creativity with artistic, but we, as you know, creativity can be in many forms, right? It doesn't have to
exactly.
be artistic. It can be, but it also could be anything from creating amazing recipes and baking and gardening and so many other things. Like
When
it's
you
not limited.
no, exactly. And when you find out what you love to do, what your passion is,
Hmm.
be surprised how much creativity comes out of that, because this is something that you love. You'll find a way to make it work. And that's
Yes.
what I did with the REVA experience. So coming from being a virtual assistant, REVA was supposed to be Rosemary Evangelista, virtual assistant, and they just didn't jive. And then from Googling that name, the creativity just, oh my goodness, started pouring. And for those who maybe don't know, the Reva is actually the name of a goddess who brings us from darkness to light with courage and strength. And when I saw that, oh my gosh, the goosebumps. And then the creativity started pouring in, and the passion and everything. So it was meant to be. So it could be just a little thing like that, a name change to get you on your
Absolutely.
path and discover your passion.
Exactly. And it's so wonderful to see. I know that I love that when I'm working with my clients with creating their brand and their logos, because I love to where they feel like they're all over the map, not really understanding what it is that they like. They think they're all over the map until I sort of walk them through my own little process and have them realize when I put together sort of like a little vision board for them of the, like, ask them to send me some images and different things that really, when they look at, they go, oh, and they feel that joy and whatever. So when I do that, I put it together and then they realize, oh, so maybe I'm not all over the map.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. When it's all up in here and you're trying to get it out, then it feels overwhelming. It
That's
seems
right.
like not
Bringing
organic.
it here.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the simple fact of talking to somebody, like you helping them with a vision board to see that, right?
Yes.
You can't keep everything to yourself to try and do it all on your own. Mind you, a lot of us do things on our own, but you still have to have that opportunity to share with somebody so that you can get a different perspective and
Hmm.
learn from that and see, yeah, it's not as overwhelming as I thought it was.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a matter of talking it through. And I just love being able to support people and in that way where it feels, that they eventually come to either with themselves or by working with me or through the process, just coming to something that feels really authentic to them. I
Yeah.
mean, I, with experience, say you need to do this, this, and this? Yes. Is it going to resonate with them? Is it going to feel like it's authentic to them if I'm telling them what they want? No. They need to have the understanding, the realization of what it is, of who they are, because
Yep, absolutely.
sometimes we don't know underneath of it all where it's all a big, you know, muddle of ideas and things, and you try to figure it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, bringing it from the head to the heart
Yeah. And,
is key.
excuse me. And it's also not listening so much to those voices, right? And because some of those voices aren't yours, there are other people that have made comments, and that comes in and think, oh yeah, well maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I should do it this way, but that's not really you. So when we were talking about with the bloopers before, being authentic and vulnerable, yeah, it's okay. So we have to be able to block those, I'm going to call it negative vibes, that we tend to cling to sometimes, because
Yeah.
it's easier, and that's really crazy. It's easier to listen to that than to try and move forward with something that you really love. But once
Yes.
you make that choice, it's amazing how easy it really does come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's it's so true. But yeah, it's just really leaning into to really listening to your heart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Um, is there something on your journey that you could share that could inspire somebody to maybe have a better look at what they want to do or what they could be looking at for themselves?
Are you referring to actually like what they want to do for themselves as a business or in some other capacity?
Well, going through a challenge. So, the now what? You're in that now what zone. Um, you had the big awakening when the universe said, yeah, you're not working here anymore. But if that hadn't happened, uh, Well, okay, let me put it this way. If that hadn't happened, what would you have been doing? Would you have still plugged away at it, or would you have come to a realization?
I think I would have eventually come to the realization. Um, it, when I look back at it now and I realize, when I was going through those things and I thought, I don't understand why this is happening. Because I couldn't make any sense of it because it's just not my way of being. So, it's just to keep continuously learning.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one thing I've definitely over the past several years. That's what is always to learn and to yeah, as you were saying for yourself, push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. I mean, it was funny because when I first started doing the collaborations with Jan, I thought, she's like, "Oh, you do the meditation." I thought, "What? You want me what? You want me to do the meditation?" She goes, "Of course, why not?" Okay. But as we've done them and we've, grown together, and I realized it's like, oh, I can do these things. I do have things that are speaking to my heart and I can share with other people. There's that sort of sense, but it's like what I was saying where I had people saying, "What, aren't you a graphic designer?" So, that voice, I'm going, that voice that was not mine.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just to keep learning, keep growing. And as a friend of mine says, there is no winning and losing. There's only winning and learning. And so as we just keep moving forward and, see the opportunities that lie there, because you never know if you keep your heart open.
Yeah.
As much as those of you that might be struggling in still that corporate environment, because I know sometimes, if you're like me, you heard a lot, especially in the last few years of my career there, I heard a lot of, "You're too sensitive. You're too kind." These were things that kept being drilled. And I thought, no, as I was coming to the realization, even before I got restructured out of my job, I was starting to come to the realization, I thought, no, those are not weaknesses. They are perceiving them as weaknesses. Those are not weaknesses. For me, those are my superpowers. Those are the things that make me who I am. And that's the kind of world I want to help create for other people. And so I know what it's like to struggle in that darkness, being confused, not understanding why this thing might be happening, but just realize there is light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep following your heart, keep learning.
That's key. Yeah, yeah. And those voices and those were external voices that were bombarding you.
Yes.
But if you fall into that rabbit hole, listening to that, then you're going to be changing yourself, and then you're not going to be happy. So stay true to yourself, and don't fall for those little external. Oh my God, I said little, but they're not really little, because they build up and then they really influence how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you react to other people. But once you can acknowledge that, it's easier to make the changes. And that's key to doing anything that you want to do, is making that decision, but also taking the action.
That's right. And as a subtext to that, as I discovered as I went along and realizing that I'm not alone in
Right.
in this experience, because sometimes that's the fear too. You're thinking, is it just me? Maybe it's just me, because that's what you start telling yourself. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm only the one to experience that. But as I was restructured out and I moved through the self-development journey and starting my own business, I realized I am not alone in this. There are many of us out there that have had very similar experiences. And you're not alone, and you don't have to remain alone. There are people out there that get you.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many others that are doing something similar to what I'm doing, what you and Jen are doing. But that's okay because everybody will resonate with somebody. And
Hmm.
don't allow the fear. And we all know what fear is. It's false evidence appearing real. So if we can remember when we start feeling that fear, it's not real. It's a perceived emotion, feeling that is going to drive us in a way that we don't want to go.
Hmm.
So, yeah, connect with somebody, reach out. And with the internet now, oh my gosh, the opportunities that we have to learn and connect with other people. I grew
Yes.
up, when I grew up in the early 50s, TV was only a few years old. And now look at the technology. Oh my gosh, I grew up with black and white TV, then the color TV, and then there was no such thing as cell phones, let alone a computer. And now our
No.
cell phones are a mini computer, right?
Yes.
So how much has changed? But we can't have fear about that technology either. So
No.
learn it and use it for your to help you learn and grow and to reach others. So I don't know where I was going with that, but it sounded good.
No, but it's very true, right? Because you know, because we can become very fearful, um, you know, about things, especially if we don't necessarily, especially when we keep in our head too. That's the thing. The more I'm in my head,
Oh, yes.
and not that we don't need to think, of course we do, but it's the more I'm in my head and I latch onto those external voices or those the self-doubt that might create. Sometimes the external voices sometimes will help create that as well. But when it's just really I know I have to get out of my head. And when I get out of my head and I lead with my heart, that's when I find that I'm in my most joy is when I do that. And it's just, if there's one thing I have to say, there was lots of tech happening um before 2020, but
Yeah.
boy, with having a worldwide shutdown and having the ability to where technology just really ramped up at an astronomical speed.
Yes, it has.
It's an incredible thing, and I've had an amazing opportunity because of that to meet so many people around the world that I would have never had the opportunity to meet otherwise, or well, chances are I wouldn't anyways.
Yeah.
So what an amazing opportunity to meet some incredible people from everywhere.
Hmm.
It's
You
it's
just make one
fascinating.
connection, and it's amazing how many how that can branch out or have the ripple effect, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And again, don't be fearful of it. You know, investigate, and if it resonates, if it feels good, then obviously it's meant to be.
Mhm.
So I had asked you if there was a message or a mantra or an insight, and you mentioned for the audience to walk away with this: kindness, empathy, and compassion, starting with, excuse me, let me start that again. Kindness, empathy, and compassion, starting with self first and radiating it out into the world, is the way to peace and transformation. That is so profound. I love that.
That's my, as I've discovered, even though I had a sense of it well before anything happened in my in my growth period, shall we call it, um, and that I realized that's the way, that's my mission. No matter whether I'm dealing with my clients and helping them find their way, or if it's through the collaboration with Jan or any other, what or just my daily interactions with people, is just bringing that sense of kindness to self first.
And when we do that and it resonates with somebody else, then that's how the connections start developing and forming. And had I not joined the serving circle and met, you know, wonderful people like you and Jan there and Tyson, where would I be now? You know, so it's the reaching out, the kindness, the compassion, the empathy, connecting with others like people. I can't even say. You know what I'm trying to say.
Like-minded people.
There, that's the word. Like-minded. Thank you.
I was trying to think of the word myself. I was like, what is the word?
So, like-minded people, and it's important who you surround yourself with. So.
Absolutely, because no matter where they are, that's the importance of community building a community for yourself, surrounding yourself with people that are going to just listen when you need them to listen. They're going to give you helpful techniques when you need that, or just cheering you on when they see you succeeding.
Absolutely.
You
it's
need
so
people
important.
like that in your life.
So important. Yeah, because we tend to beat ourselves up regularly, right? So just to hear that from somebody else, it's okay. Well, maybe I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. So yeah, that's key. That is so important. So is there anything you'd like to share or promote? Anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, I mean, I'm always open to just having a conversation, and I don't mean just from the perspective of from a business perspective, just learning more about where people are at, and sort of like getting to know them better, because that's, for me, that's the essential part of community. And yeah, just I'd reach out at any time, and of course, for my collaboration with Jan, I mean, we would love to have your heart centered, love to have a little bit of fun, need some inspiration. One thing is to join our Spirit Born Imagings groups, both on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and connect with people, because there's some amazing people in those groups as well. And
Yes.
Just really would love if, we're on a little bit of a hiatus over the summer, but in the fall we're back with our workshops. We have 3 that are scheduled, so we're looking forward. We're sort of in the planning stages of that, just not as rapidly as we normally would be doing. We're giving ourselves some time,
Yes, which is important.
self-kindness, to do that. And we're also looking at a collaboration with another lady that we've met through networking, etc., to hopefully do, well, not hopefully, we are going to do
That's good. You changed that.
a weekend retreat for
Nice.
women in October of this year. So we're really excited about that. So there's going to be more details coming about that soon, but it feels very fun and exciting,
Yeah.
to be able to do that. And who knows, we're coming down your way. We're going to be in Burlington, so we're kind of
nice.
between.
That's Burlington, Ontario, guys.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so and one day we'll actually be able to meet midway and actually meet each other in person, right?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Yes, we will. Yes, we will. And that's another part of my dream, but I know, we have to take one step at a time.
Absolutely.
I've taken the step of doing the podcast and creating my 5-day challenges and the 8-week REVA Rising course. And also the Circle of Light events I've hosted.
Yes.
But doing retreats, that's another thing that I would love to do. And I've been looking into
dipping our toe in.
Yeah. I don't think for me, not this year, because there's just.
Well, you have a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things happening. So, but I will have all your links that you gave me. They will be in the podcast for the viewers to check out and to connect with you. And I hope they do, because Mary Jane or MJ.
Yes.
She's amazing. She's just a delight to chat with, as you can tell. And so, unless there's anything else, Mary Jane,
just thank you for this opportunity, Rosemary. It's been delightful. I knew it would be, because I know we always have amazing conversations together. So I wasn't expecting it to be any less. And I just appreciate the opportunity to be able to support you in your podcast and hopefully connect with some other people as well.
Absolutely. And I'm really honored. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a guest on my podcast.
My pleasure.
And if you enjoyed this episode and it spoke to your heart, please like, share, comment. It helps us get this message to the women who need it most. And we'd really appreciate that. Thanks for being part of my journey out of my comfort zone. This podcast is a dream unfolding. And remember, if you're ready to rediscover your spark and confidence, join me for the free 5-day challenge, Your Confidence Reboot. And let's rise together. Or, to go deeper, explore the 8-week REVA Rising course. You can also connect with me for speaking engagements, corporate sessions, or one-on-one support. Every shift starts with one conversation. Let's rise together. Look for the sparkle in your day and be a sparkle for someone else.